Welcome to Katha with Karadi. We are just going to give it a few minutes while we wait for people to join. Good morning from New York City, and good evening to all of you in India, and good whatever time it is, wherever in the world you are watching. I hope none of you are up at 3 a.m. to watch this feed. Hi Venkatalakshmi, hi Sharmila, hi Abhijit, hi Amrita. Again, we're just waiting for a few more people to join before we start. We have a really fun story for you today, and I can't wait to tell it to all of you. And it's going to be really fun. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good all the times. I hope you're having a good Saturday. Not going out anywhere, I hope. Just enjoying yourselves at home. Hello to everyone joining. Thank you all for joining. Hello, hello, hello. It is a very bright day here in New York. Yesterday was kind of cloudy and rainy. Today is very sunny here. How's the weather where you are? Weather seems kind of matters less than it used to in some ways because we are not outside as much. Still, if it's hot, it's going to be hot inside. Today, no banana songs, or no, it's not a banana themed story, unfortunately, but there will be, well, let me not give you any spoilers for what is going to happen in today's story. There is some connection with last time's Monkeys on a Fast story. Just giving it one more minute before starting. I hope you are all, even though I'm wearing elephant's shirt, there are no elephants there is one elephant in the story that I'm going to tell you. But it's not a story about elephants. Daya says Chennai is surprisingly pleasant. That is always nice. Anytime it is pleasant in Chennai is a surprise. Hot in Hyderabad. Okay, let's get started. Namaskaram, Vanakkam, Salam Alaikum, Sat Sri Akal to everybody. Thank you for joining. Today we have a very special story which I wrote, but it's not my original story. It is a folk tale. But the name that I have given to the story and that Karadi Tales has given to the story is called Super Hathaman. Now, what do you think Super Hathaman is a story about? Do you think it is, with the word super in the title, either it is about some superhero or it is about some magic, or what are your guesses? It's called Super Hathaman. Sounds like the name of a superhero, right? Do you think it's a superhero story? Well, we're about to find out. So can we have the picture book on the screen, please? Super Hathaman. This is text by me and illustrations, which you are about to see by Chetan Sharma, who has done, you're about to see what gorgeous illustrations there are in this book. Now, if you happen to have heard the audio version of this story, Javed Jafri has read the audio version. Unfortunately, I am not Javed Jafri, but I will attempt to be as entertaining as he can be. So, in a forest somewhere in India, there lived a man called Hathaman. He loved Hatha Yoga. Every morning, he would rise with the sun, take an icy dip in the river, and do a 12-step ritual called the Surya Namaskar. He would perform it not once, not twice, not even 3 times, but 150 times every morning. Have any of you done Surya Namaskar? Do you know, if you know how to do it, how many times can you do it? I can do it maximum 12 times in one go. It's quite, if you do it properly, it can be quite a strenuous exercise. So I can do it 12 times, but Hathaman was already quite super. He's quite a talented yogi, as you can see from all these drawings. He can do it 150 times every morning. That is quite a workout, I have to say. After that, he would not just stop with Surya Namaskars, but after Surya Namaskar, he would do Dhanurasana, Bhujangasana, Mayurasana, Sarvangasana. So many different asanas. Do you know what an asana is? Asanas are different poses. Now, I can't, because this camera is over here, I can't demonstrate all of these for you. Even if I could, which I don't think I know them well enough to demonstrate for you. But the Dhanurasana means it's like a bow, of a bow and arrow. That's, you're trying to make your body like that. Bhujangasana means you're trying to make your body like a snake. Can you see over here in the side of the drawing where, like a cobra raising its hood? Hathaman is making a pose. Mayurasana is like a peacock. You're trying to strut like a peacock. And Sarvangasana means you're using all of your limbs. Sarvang means hands, legs, arms, feet, everything gets involved. Okay, so clearly Hathaman is a very talented yogi. But what is his problem? Hathaman has a problem. Despite being such an accomplished yogi, Hathaman had a secret desire. More than anything else, he wanted to be superhuman. Right now, he's just human. He's a human who's very good at yoga, but he wants to be superhuman. Superhuman means what? Means he's saying, I have arms like the trunk of a tree. I can swim like a fish and run faster than the wind. But how fantastic it would be if I could walk on water or fly like a bird. He sighed, looking at an eagle in the sky. Now, I'm sure a lot of you have watched superhero movies or TV shows. There are all these various superheroes in the world. Fictional, of course. There are no real superheroes, not that I know of. But tell me, if you could have any superpowers, what would you want? Tell me in the comments. Would you want to be invisible? Would you want to fly like a bird? Would you want to move objects with your mind? Or that's called telekinesis, moving objects with your mind. Like the Force in Star Wars. Like I can just move even through the internet. Like if I can move if I can move your glass of water across the table. Unfortunately, I don't have that power. I would be interested in moving things with my mind, because then I never have to get up to get anything. I can just be like, come over here, my water bottle. Come over here, my laptop, my cell phone. Or another superpower I would want to have is being able to remember everything, because I'm always forgetting a lot of things. So I don't know if any of you are like me, but I would want to have perfect recall. What about all of you? Some people are saying they would want to fly. Oh, neutralize corona. That's a very good superpower to have. To not be affected by any diseases, and to be able to heal other people. Wow, what a superpower if you could have that. Invisibility, that's a good one. But invisibility, does it mean your clothes will also become invisible? Because otherwise it gets a little tricky. And even with flying, you can't just fly. You have to be able to breathe in very thin air and protect yourself from altitude sickness. So, you want to assume that with flight you get all these other things also. Okay, let's continue the story. So Super Hathaman wanted, well, he's not super yet. He's just regular Hathaman. He wants all these superpowers, right? He's not satisfied with just being very good at yoga. So one day, as he hung upside down from the branch of a tree, he was muttering, I just wish I had some superpowers, some magical powers. And one old yogi who was walking by heard him and stopped in front of him. And this old yogi told Hathaman, I know someone who can help you and give you the powers you are looking for. Hathaman was like, what? Who is this person? Who, what, where, how? Tell me how to get powers. The old yogi said, high up in the mountains of Tibet, there live men and women who have extraordinary powers that you and I can only dream of. And the yogi just said that and he walked away. Now Hathaman was really excited. In Tibet, there were apparently these people who could give him powers. So he was not going to wait for anything. He set off immediately. He started on a long trek to Tibet. It was a very long journey, but Hathaman was very determined. All his life, he has wanted to have these powers, right? So he walked and kept on walking. Finally, he reached Tibet. Majestic mountains towered over him, ice-capped, craggy, steep. And there he saw, finally, hidden within the folds of the mountains, he saw a monastery. Monastery means what? It's a place where people seclude themselves from the rest of the world. Even when there is no lockdown for corona, they are by themselves, away from everybody else, so that they can meditate and, learn self-control and learn all other kinds of things. So these people have been living in the mountains for a long time, and Hathaman is going to find out what they know that he doesn't. So Hathaman drew in his stomach, threw out his chest, and staggered across the courtyard of the monastery. I will introduce myself as a master yogi, Hathaman said, and maybe do a cartwheel or two to impress them and show them how good I am. But at the monastery, no one even seemed to notice Hathaman. These monks are all going about their business. They have things to do every day. If some random Hathaman shows up, they are not going to drop everything and suddenly be like, who are you? How can we give you magical powers? They have their work to do, Baba. You can't just, can you just show up at somebody's house and say, give me powers? Well, you will tell them, if you want to stay here, you stay. But I have things to do. I have food to cook. I have dishes to clean. I have a lot of things to do, man. You just take care of yourself. So Hathaman is standing there like this. As you can see in the book, he's standing and wondering why nobody is paying attention to him. And this monastery is quite a beautiful place. Exquisite silk thankas hung on the monastery walls. The air was fragrant with incense. And from somewhere came the majestic resonance of cymbals and drums. Dish, dom, dom, dom. hum, and chanting. But Hathaman didn't care about any of this. He was only interested in one thing. And what is that one thing? What is Hathaman interested in? Just in, Hathaman is interested in are superpowers, right? So he's not going to pay attention to all these various things. He is just interested in how is he going to get superpowers. So Hathaman came to a door where a monk signaled Hathaman to enter. Finally, somebody is paying attention to this man. So striding in without so much as a namaste to the old man sitting there, Hathaman asked, "Are you the teacher?" So he goes and asks this old man, "Are you the teacher?" And the old monk just simply smiled. He bid Hathaman to sit down and he said, "I hear you have traveled a great distance to acquire superpowers. I am sure superpowers are very useful, but wouldn't you rather learn meditation and other practices? We can teach you things that can completely transform your life." After all, these monks they are not flying about in the air. They are not shooting lasers from their eyes or turning invisible. The monks that are in the monastery are all just meditating and doing, various practices, human practices like Hathaman is used to. But Hathaman has heard that they know superpowers and they can teach him superpowers. That's why he's come, right, all the way from India to Tibet to learn superpowers. He is not interested in all this meditation. Hathaman said, "Look here, monk sir. I come from a land of great siddhas and enlightened beings. I have not traveled all the way here to learn meditation from you. I know you can teach me superpowers. So let's just stick to that. All right?" Hathaman is being a little rude, don't you think? You think Hathaman has a bit of a attitude problem? Have your parents ever told you you have an attitude problem or you should be more polite? Hathaman could definitely use some lessons in how to be polite, how to be a good guest. He's a guest after all, right? He has come from far away. He is in this monk's home. He should be a little more polite. But of course, the monk is very calm and he doesn't get agitated for anything. So the monk just smiled and said, "If you are sure that superpowers are the only thing you want, we can work on that." So Hathaman said, "Well, let's get started. Teach me the superpowers." "Not now," the monk said. "Early tomorrow, before the sun rises, go to the river that flows near the monastery and take a bath. Then come to me." So Hathaman was very excited. He goes away, goes to sleep. And the next morning, even before the sun rose, Hathaman flexed his arms and started doing push-ups by the river. Can all of you do push-ups? You know how to do push-ups? How many push-ups can you do? I can do max 20 push-ups I can manage in one go. Let me know in the comments how many push-ups you can. Don't start doing it now, please. There's still more story left to get through. So don't start your push-ups now. But just like he can do 150 Surya Namaskars, I'm sure Hathaman can do a lot of push-ups. In the freezing waters of the Brahmaputra river, Hathaman took a bath till he was almost blue in the body and face. Then he ran. See how he's running like this. Like he's already a Superman. He's going running to the old monk's room. He was terribly excited. How impressed the yogis will be in India when they see me just flying back home. I'm sure if you have gone on a long trek somewhere, you would be very excited if you can get a plane ride back, right? This one time I went to Bhutan and it was so difficult to get there by train and road that while coming back, we took a flight and it was like, I don't have to go through a long trek again to get back home. Just like that. This was, I don't think flights were available at this time that Hathaman is there. So he wants to fly himself. right? That would be quite impressive if you can fly from one country to another without having to worry about, oh, are airlines even running right now? If you could just fly anywhere you want, that would be fantastic. And you can keep your distance from everyone else because they are down on the ground. You are up in the sky. So very convenient it would be. Now Hathaman has come to the monk's room and he says, "Come on, hurry up. I have been here for ages. I'm ready for my magic powers," Hathaman said very impatiently. The monk just closed his eyes and was sitting in silence, very calmly. Hathaman is very excited. "Give me powers, give me powers, give me powers, give me powers." The monk is just very calm and cool and collected and meditative. Do you want to be like this or do you want to be like this? Serene and calm? Or do you want to be excited? "Oh, give me powers, give me powers, oh, give me powers." That's what Hathaman is like right now. Then the monk finally opened his eyes and said, "Come here, bring your ear close to me. I will whisper the secret mantra. Sit by the river and chant it 3 times. All the powers of the world will be yours." Hathaman was incredulous. Incredulous means he couldn't believe it. It was like such an incredible thing that it was just unbelievable. That's it? I just have to tell a mantra 3 times and then I will get all the superpowers I want? "That's it," said the old monk. So Hathaman brought his ear over and the monk whispered in a soft voice, "Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangam Sharanam Gacchami." "That's it?" Hathaman asked again, unable to believe this. "That's it," said the monk. Hathaman learned the mantra quickly, and even without saying thank you, he turned to go. "1 minute," called the monk. "There is just one condition to the mantra." "Condition? What condition?" So asked Hathaman. "While you chant the mantra," the monk said, "you must not think of monkeys. Even one single thought of a monkey will make the mantra ineffective." "Monkeys? What monkeys? Why would I think of monkeys?" "I don't even like monkeys," Hathaman said. Of course, he lives in the forest in India. He must be very annoyed with all the monkeys who are there all the time. So I'm sure Hathaman is not a fan of monkeys. So the monk says, even if you're not concerned about monkeys, even if you don't like monkeys, if you think of one, even a single monkey, you will have to bathe again in the river and chant the mantra again without thinking of monkeys. So Hathaman was a little perplexed. What does any of this have to do with monkeys, right? Why are monkeys even entering the question? He shook his head and wondered how a monk who dealt in superpowers could be so silly. What silly advice? "Remember," the monk said, "no monkeys." Now, Hathaman in his mind is singing this song. We'll sing a couple of lines of the song. Okay? "All my life I wished and prayed." Can you sing after me? "All my life I wished and prayed to soar and fly unafraid. All my life I wished and prayed to soar and fly unafraid, to touch the sun and raise the light, to touch the sun and raise the light, to move the mountains with my might, to touch the sun and raise the light, to move the mountains with my might. All my life I wished and prayed to soar and fly unafraid, to touch the sun and raise the light, to move the mountains with my might. That's what Hathaman is thinking. And now he has got the mantra that will give him all these powers that he's wanted for so long. So at the river, Hathaman took a spectacular dive into the waters, and then shaking the water out of his hair, he found a comfortable spot under a tree. He closed his eyes and began chanting the mantra. Now let's try. Why don't you try telling this mantra, but without thinking of monkeys? Don't even worry about the mantra. Just see if you can close your eyes and not think of monkeys. Think of anything else. Don't think of monkeys. Don't think of monkeys. Don't think of monkeys. Are you able to do it? Are you able to not think of monkeys? If you are managing to do it, I want to hear it from you in the comments. Are you able to not think of monkeys? It's pretty hard, right? So Hathaman is about to discover. He's saying, Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangam Sharanam Gaccha. And as he chanted, he considered his good luck. He couldn't believe that it would be so easy to get special magical powers. I hope they are not making a monkey out of me, Hathaman thought, and immediately, I hope they're not making a monkey out of me, and that monkey just jumped into Hathaman's mind. Oh dear, Hathaman thought. Now I've thought of a monkey, so the mantra won't work. And the old monk had strictly warned him against thinking of monkeys. So Hathaman dove again into the freezing river, and stiff and cold, he sat to chant the mantra again. Buddham Sharanam Gaccha. But what do you think happened? Now 3 monkeys had popped into his head, and one of them was holding a banana. I think these are the monkeys from that Chief Chakku's tribe, just obsessed with bananas. So more monkeys are in Hathaman's mind. He is going to have to do this start over. So he jumped into the river and came out again. Buddham, he started, and now there were 15 monkeys in his head. It was a whole colony. Hathaman shook his head violently to get rid of the monkeys, but there was no getting rid of them. Just look at that. There are monkeys everywhere. Once more, Hathaman jumped in the river, came out, and went back again and again, but these monkeys were just not going away. I see some people saying that, yes, they are able to think, they are able to not think of monkeys. Sure, I believe you. Don't try and fool me. If you close your eyes and say, I will not think of monkeys, nothing will come into your head except for monkeys. So just like that, Hathaman is finding that every time he tries to remove monkeys from his head, more and more of them are coming into his head. Get off, shoo! Yelled Hathaman, trying to get rid of all these monkeys, every shape, every size, big families of monkeys, big ones, little ones. Some were sitting on his head and removing lice. Some were on his shoulder. Some baby monkeys were in his lap. All around they swarmed and clambered, scratched and pummeled him, tweaked his nose, boxed his ears, and pulled his hair. The more he tried to push them away, the closer they clung to him. And what are they singing? What is the song that the monkeys like to sing? Some of you know this song. How do monkeys announce themselves in the world of Karadi tales? Do they sing, hello, we are the monkeys? Is that the song they sing? Or do they sing, monkeys, we are the monkeys? Yeah? Sing along with me. Let's do our competition again. Monkeys, we are the monkeys. How long can you hold the monkeys? If you do a lot of yoga, you should have good lung capacity. So like Hathaman should be able to hold it for a long time. Let's see how long I can do it. Okay, starting in 3, hello. I think we lost connection there for a second. Can you see me now? Can you see me now? I'll just finish the story. Okay. So what happened? Hathaman went running to the monk and he said, please free me of these monkeys. I don't need any superpowers. Just let me go. And the monk said, fine, the monkeys are just in your mind. And the day you can utter the mantra without thinking of monkeys, the whole world will be yours. So Hathaman now has completely given up on the idea of superpowers, and he just went running back to his forests in India, which are his home. And he went back to doing his old Surya Namaskar, Dhanurasana, Bhujangasana, Sarvangasana. But even today, sometimes Hathaman thinks, maybe I can get superpowers. And he tries to utter the mantra. But every time he does, the monkeys come back to visit him. So the same goes for you. If you want superpowers, just utter the mantra, but do not think of monkeys. And you will find that that's not possible. Or if it's possible, then that is a true sign that you are superhuman. So thank you, everybody, for joining Katha with Karadi. I hope you liked that story involving monkeys, one of my favorite topics. And you have learned an important lesson about how your brain works. It's very difficult to not think of something. Has anyone ever told you, don't open that box? Don't open that box. It's not for you. And then, even if you're a good kid and you're like, I will not open it, you just keep thinking, what is in that box? Why did they tell me not to open it? That's how our brains work. We all, even though we have evolved from monkeys over thousands of millennia, we are still we have a little bit of that monkey brain, each and every one of us. So thank you so much for coming, and come back tomorrow for the next session with Katha with Karadi. Bye.